we go.
What's going on, IBL fans? Welcome to week number 5 of our team builder. I am your coach of the Rhode and Regis, and we're here for week number 5 of the IBL. As I said so before, I don't know why I'm messing that up. But how you guys doing? So I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. I'm going to go over my opponent's team, my team that I'm bringing, and why I'm bringing them in each order. And if you guys enjoy, please make sure to leave a like down below. So, for this week's team, we're up against the Salazzin Salazzles, coached by TokenTube. I've been watching some of the matches because right now I believe he's 2-2 or 3-1. I don't remember exactly. I think he's 2-2 right now. No, I think he's 3-1 right now. To be honest, I don't really. I'm pretty sure he's either 2-2 or 3-1. I don't know. But we're right now 1-3, and we need to get this win so bad. We need to get this win so bad. If we don't, we don't have a chance to ever make it to the playoffs. So that means for the rest of the season, we're probably gonna play very, very cheeky. But for this week, if we end up winning, we need to win the rest of the season in order to make it to the playoffs. So we're gonna try our hardest. We're gonna try to team build. We're gonna try to team build with friends. We're gonna try our very best to do what we can. But for this week, we're being super offensive while being super bulky at the same time. And for those who didn't know, we did trade out our Golurk for a Dustnor. By the way, I forgot to mention that during the week. It has been a really busy week, so I'm sorry for not mentioning that. But we did trade out our Golurk for a Dustnor. It gives us a grass. It reduces a grass weakness that we had, plus still keeping the ghost something that we needed. I really came across this because I noticed that our team was extremely weak to grass. I wanted to bring the Golurk this week and then realized it doesn't fit with our team because one, we didn't have a trick room set, which we desperately needed a trick room setter, especially going up against in the next few weeks. But for Golurk, it reduced our grass weakness, so we're no longer weak to the Verisian as much as we thought we were. We have alright. So for the TokenTube, the Salazzles have Heatran, which it's their Z captain. It could be ran C Steel, C Fire, or C Ground. I personally think it's either gonna be C Fire or C Ground. To be honest, I don't think he's gonna bring a Grass Knot. I don't think it gets the Energy Ball. I highly doubt it gets the Energy Ball. Actually, to make sure, I don't know if it does, but let me make sure. Let me make sure real quick. Heatran. Let me make sure real quick. Hold up. Heatran, Smogon. Let's see if he gets it. Does he get any Ground type move besides? He gets Earth Power, Dark Pulse, and I'm guessing he does get Grass Knot, or he doesn't get Red. He doesn't get the Grass Knot, but he does get Explosion and Dark Pulse. Any Grass type moves, I don't think he gets. Any Electric type moves, I don't think he gets. Doesn't get any Electric type moves, so we are pretty safe to do what we need to do, right? Versus this thing. Anyways. Of course, to start with the lineup, I always have to bring our C captain. Oh, hold up. Before we go to our team, I don't know what I'm doing. Before we bring to our team, he's bringing he has the Heatran in his team. He also has slow. And by the way, guys, I'm sorry if I'm a little off. I woke up like 20 minutes ago, so I'm a little bit tired right now. He has Slowbro, Crobat, which those two actually are a really good core together because the Crobat is weak to Psychic while Slowbro resisted, but they both are weak to Electric, which is why I needed to bring my 9 volts. Crobat, the Milk Tank, which I don't think he bring. If he does bring it, it's going to be to put up the rocks instead of the Heatran. The Heatran, I foresee him bringing more than the Milk Tank, but that's just me. The Verisian, I 100% see that this monster coming. If he doesn't, he's probably gonna bring the Armado or the Heliolisk. The Regis, which I don't think he's gonna bring. If he brings the Regis, then we have a couple of answers to this thing, since the Regis only has base 200 special defense and has really booty stats, so we might be good on that. The Garchomp, we know 100% he's gonna bring. No doubt about it. No doubt in my mind he's going to bring the Garchomp. He sees my Jolteon. He wants to stop it. The only way for him to stop my my Volt Switches is with the Jolteon. 100%. I know this for a fact. The Sylveon, there's never a answer to this thing, because he can bring HP Ice, he can bring Hyper Voice, he can bring the Cleric set, he can bring Choice Specs if he really wanted to. I'm really fearing the Choice Specs part. Just saying, I'm really fearing the Choice Specs. The Choice Specs does too much damage to my team where I cannot hit them back. Their model it's a Rapid Spinner, it's a knockoff user, Rock and Bug type. I keep thinking that this one was a Water and Rock type for some reason, just because he got like the Aqua Jet as a priority move, which I have to be careful of that, because I know that that move can actually, I think, two-shot my Infernape. I don't know exactly, I think so. The Heliolisk, really fast special hitter, super frail with dry skin, so this gives him his water immunity. If he brings the Heliolisk, I have to be careful of how I use my Felicia, and I have to be careful of his Hyper Voice, because it's stab and it's gonna hit hard. And Mr. Mime, I don't know exactly what Mr. Mime does, but it's still here. It's a fairy type. It's not a fairy type. It's a psychic type, and it's kind of quick, I believe. Mr. Mime. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Hold up. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Hold up. I'm trying to remember where he is. I'm trying to remember how fast he is. Mr. Mime's actually only base 90, but it has a base 100 like special attack and base special defense of 120, so it makes sense why he might also bring it, because I am bringing a couple of special hitters. I'm bringing a couple of walls, but for today we're going to go over who we're bringing. I don't know why that came up to be, but okay. This is just a very, very non-formal online team builder, and I'm really sorry about that. So the 6 things I think he's gonna bring: Crobat Slowbro, because the Crobat speed ties with the Jolteon, and he outspeeds everything in my entire team. Slowbro is a fantastic wall regenerator. I don't want to get burned by this thing. He gets way too many coverage. Garchomp, those 3 are a must. He must bring those 3. The last 3, I'm thinking most likely Virizion for my grass weakness, plus he takes care of my Melodic really well. Plus the Fighting Stab does hit a lot of my physical walls as well, so I have to be careful with that thing. So those 4 is an absolute must. The last 2 are either going to be Cleric or Stealth Rocks. Cleric or Stealth Rocks are going to be on his last 2, which are also going to be part of his wall as well. Heatran and Sylveon, me and one of my friends, we were doing some like team building together, and we did a kind of like a mock battle where he brought the Heatran and the Sylveon, which I was more confident in going up against those 2 as the last ones, because if it brings the right Gyres, we just have to keep the Zuko more alive than anything. The Zuko and the Crisis and the Lancelot way more alive. If it brings the Armado, we have to play around that, because he gets like to spin the hazards away. If we bring the Heliolisk, I have to keep certain things alive in order to kind of like window this thing down as much as I can, in order to hit it with a Mach Punch as soon as possible, or get a Flare Blitz on a switch in. And the Mr. Mime and the Mr. Mime and the Regis, I don't think he's going to bring. If he does, it's going to be pretty interesting. He probably want to reverse the Trick Room, but I'm not bringing a Trick Room this time around. I brought the Dusknoir to pretend I'm bringing the Trick Room, and he has a couple things that can run on the Trick Room right back at me. So hopefully, with my slower mons, I'm able to do some work. Because Felicia and the Lancelot are, and the Red Rock are my slowest mons. And half of my team is super fast and half of my team is super slow. So we're going to have to play around with what we got. We need the information of seeing if the Felicia is actually faster than the Sylveon. If it is, then we can actually recover slow right in front of him. Hopefully we are maxed out in PPs, because I need my recovers to be at 16, just because I do need to play around like with a slow bro, because my whole objective is to weaken the slow bro. Then his team will start to crumble down right after it, because everything else can take a hit. Okay, to start off, we have our Source Dancing, U-Turn, Mach Punch, Flare Blitzing, and the Fire MC Suko. This set has max speed, Jolly Nature, 252 in attack, and 4 in HP. This is going to be our kind of like our secondary the win condition. This checks the Virizion, the Red Ice, the Slobo to Ascend, the Heatran, and the Sylveon to check. It doesn't counter it at all. It does hit everything that I did mention super hard. The Healerless gets 2 KO by a Mach Punch. After Swords Dance, it goes down. After Swords Dance, I can Swords Dance in front of a Virizion switch out and try my best to hit like something with a U-turn. I should outspeed the rest of his team, barring except for Crobat and Healerless, and barring the Scarf. The Fire MZ, I needed a stronger stab, because if in the end game it does end up being a speed type between the Virizion and me, if Flare Blitz does not kill all the way, a Fire MZ does take out the Virizion 100%. So it's all barring a speed tie. Speed tie with the Virizion is more important than anything. I should be able to eat up one hit from the Virizion, even an EQ, a close combat or something. I should be able to eat one hit at full health, and a Fire MZ should be able to kill him. The U-turn just to do a little bit of damage on the slow bro. The slow bro I think is gonna be a bit of a problem to take care of, but to be honest, I have a couple walls to check the slow bro, so I should be fine. I do not want to get scolded. The Heatran, I do scare it out with a close combat, which I don't have, but that's the whole point of it. I don't have a close combat, I have a Swords Dance instead. So a +2 on the Mach Punch actually kills the Heatran, so that's gonna be super clutch to do. Yes, it's only base 40, but with the Iron Fist and the Swords Dance and the max attack, we should be able to do some work. And also a Garchomp does not want to take a double Flare Blitz, especially at +2. Plus I outspeed it naturally, so that's also a big hit on it. Next up we have Felicia. This set is actually a super wall set with the Toxic Recover, Scald, the Ice Beam, and the Flame Orb. I have to catch something. I have to make sure this thing does not get toxic. I have no way to get rid of toxic. If I end up with a toxic, I lose 100%. If I end up with a toxic, I absolutely lose. The residual damage of Flame Orb is absolutely nada. Trust me, it's nothing at all. It's only 6%. I can recover that after taking a hit from a Sylveon, after taking a hit from Slowbro, after taking a hit from a Crobat, a Garchomp, a Miltank, a Heatran, a Flash Cannon doesn't do anything, a Magma Storm doesn't do anything, and I can recover up all the hits I can. Skull is to hit everything that wants to only come in, and if I get a burn, it's fine. I do not want to get burned on the Slowbro, that's one thing. I want to get a Toxic out on the Slowbro. Slowbro is the only thing I do need to get a Toxic on. That thing is such a freaking wall. If it wants to try to set up Combine, Scald will be able to do 20% each time. If he sets up one Combine, I do 10% plus the residual on a toxic damage will bring it down enough where I still beat it straight out as long as I have a Flame Orb. As long as I get burnt instead of the poison. So the Melodic is here. Absolutely love it. I love the set. It eats up so many hits. Oh my goodness. Plus it has the 252 in health, the 212 in defense to boost the the defense a little bit more, and the 44 in special attack to do a little bit more damage, where it does one hit KO a couple things at this range, or it's a guaranteed 2 hit KO with this spread. This Felicia is going to be the win con. If we drop this thing early, we lose. That's how this match is going to be. Felicia's here to take down the Slowbro. Slowbro, such a big problem. I could have brought Shaman, but he has too many things that can switch into Shaman that I do not want to deal with. Plus, the Shaman gets outclassed by the Virizion, gets outdone by the Milk Tank, gets outdone by the Sylveon, where it had no room to be here. It is base 100, yes, but this thing outwalls it. Plus, it does more as a wall versus the Garchomp than anything else, because the Garchomp can bring Fire Fang, so that's another super effective move, and Felicia does not want, and the Leaf Bulbous does not want to take a Fire Fang from that thing at all. But this thing can take, I think, 3 Dragon Claws. Even at +2, at +1, it can probably take. At +2, it could probably take 2. I don't know exactly. I think I ran the calculator on it. It could at least take 1 or 2, but the Ice Beam would kill the Garchomp. Period. It kills the Garchomp. I do not want to stay in against here. Like, it does decent against the Sylveon. That's my only thing. It does pretty decent on the Sylveon. Next, we have our 9-volt, the Jolteon, having the Baton Pass, HP Ice, Thunderbolt, the Magnarize, and E-Belt. This suffered from a 4th move syndrome so badly, but our Jolteon is here to have the Baton Pass instead of the Volt Switch. The E-Belt, because I didn't want Specs. Specs put me down into one spot where I didn't want to be. The HPH hits pretty much half of his team, and the Thunderbolt hits the other half of the team. So it's either or. The Magnarize is only there to kind of predict a switch into the Garchomp where I outspeed it, and the HPI should kill at a certain range. And if I predict them to go for an EQ, I can go for Magnarize. I am immune to EQ. Hit him with the HPIs. That's so. It's dead. So pretty simple. Timid, 252 in special attack, 252 in speed, and 4 in special defense. Doesn't really matter that much. Here is one of the sets that was given to me by my last week's opponent, Dan, aka Sir Hawker. He was very kind enough to help us out, and he told me, you know what? Run a Coal Mine Recover like Latias. You outspeed a good ton of his team. Plus, you're with this set, with this spread, you can take 1 hit from the Crobat and kill it. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, all right, so the Side Shock hits everything in his team but the Heatran, and that's about it. It doesn't hit the Heatran. It does very little bit to Slowbro. But that's fine. And then the Dragon Pulse hits everything else in his team for stab damage. Plus it kills the Garchomp. The Side Shock 2-hit kills the Sylveon, and the Dragon Pulse hits everything else. I'm like, alright, hold up. And then he told me to run the E-Belt on it. I'm like, okay, sure, I can run the E-Belt. But wait, if I run the Soldew, it's legal. Plus our only moves are either Psychic or Dragon. So I'm like, alright, cool. And if I set up 1 Calm Mind, I sweep his team. Just 1 Calm Mind, I do a tremendous amount to the rest of his team and recovers for my longevity. So right now, we have the Latias here at 166 in defense, 92 in special attack, and 252 in speed. The 252 in speed is very crucial because it means we outspeed the Heliolisk and we can kill it with a Dragon Pulse or a Side Shock. So that's a very, really good thing to do. We take a decent amount from a Thunderbolt and a Hyper Voice, but that's fine. We can recover off the damage, so I'm not really worried about that. I can take 1 Hyper Voice from full. It does about 75%, but after everything else, I can just recover stall it out. Against the Heatran, I recover stall. Heatran can do way too much to me. I can Calm Mind in front of the Heatran, which I noticed. Even if Flash Cannon does, I think 25 to 33% if he's on the max invested. So hopefully this thing does what it needs to do. Next we have our great physical wall, and the mascot of the team, Coco Crispy Steve Reggie, holding the rocket helmet once again, exactly like last week. 252 in HP, 4 in attack, 252 in defense, Self Rocks, Ice Punch, Drain Punch, and Thunder Punch. All the punch moves this time around. Hopefully this thing doesn't get burned. The clear body ability so it doesn't get intimidated, which they don't have intimidate in the scene. If I had sturdy, if I knew how to put sturdy on this thing, I would. The Stealth Rocks I need to get up as soon as possible. The Stealth Rocks is super crucial in this game. It does the ship damage that I needed to do overall. The Ice Punch hits everything in this team super hard. The Drain Punch hits the Heat Trend, hits the Milk Tank super hard as much as I can, and the Thunder Punch hits the Slowbro on the switching. So all of these moves are making sense overall, especially against his walls. And Lancelot was here. It was the Dusknoir, it was the Lancelot, and it was the Shaman. This last spawn was the hardest one to pick, but I reckon, you know what, the Sylveon is such a big threat where I need something to hit it super hard and as hard as I can. So we have the Lancelot with the knockoff Ironhead, Mega Horn, Drill Run, holding the Oka Berry to be able to take one fire type move from anything that's not the Heat Trend, which means I can hit absolutely one thing with a knockoff Ironhead, a Mega Horn, or a Drill Run. If I predict the Heat Trend on the switching, if I'm in front of a Sylveon, I hit him with a Drill Run. If not, I can go for the Ironhead. It does hit the Sylveon super hard. I know he will probably have like the berry to reduce the damage on the Sylveon, but I prefer that than him having the leftovers, because that means he's not gaining life over time. Plus I can take one hit for I can take a Hyper Voice from this thing, and then the HP Fire from this thing. So I'm able, with the berry, of course, with the berry, I can hit pretty much a lot of things at once. The Drill Run is especially for the Heat Trend and the Armado. The knockups to hit everything on the team, especially on this level, and the Mega Horn is just a very strong stab. But this is the team builder for this week. I slightly more confident. If I play my cards right, we might be able to still win. But if you guys like this team builder, please make sure to leave a like down below. I know that I mumbled half of that. I'm still really tired, guys. I'm sorry. But I will catch you guys tomorrow for the battle. Hope you guys are supporting your Rhode and Regis, because we're trying our best to come back around. If we don't come back around, I'm really sorry for being such a bad player. That's what I'm going to say. I'm really sorry for being such a bad player. But your support in this series is so appreciated. I thought that the team was very solid, but I just don't know how to play with it just yet. It does take me a little bit to learn how to play with a team and how to use walls as walls. That's the biggest thing. I have to use my walls as specific walls. So have yourself a great day. Stay nerdy, stay awesome, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for our battle. Peace.